Good morning. It is just after 7 a.m. Um, my time, and I'm in West Africa. The Lord woke me up around midnight to listen to some prophetic word that He wanted me to hear on YouTube. And then after that, He had me looking up Chidinma Adetshina. Now, y'all know if you look at my YouTube channel, I'm not an entertainment person. I don't really follow all this stuff except remotely when it shows up on my feed or when it's in the news a lot. And I know the story of what happened to Chidinma because it was in the news and it is an African story. So, but I didn't follow it, to any length or in any depth. I just know the gist of what happened. Um, and so um, I was up after I listened to the prophetic word. Then I started listening to commentary on what had happened to her and on her victory at Miss Universe and all of that. So I went to bed after that. I went back to bed after that. And it must have been early this morning, like around 5 or so, that I had a dream about her. And when I got up this morning, 6:55 or so, um, the Lord said to me, get up, go ahead and record that dream and post it. So apparently this has some level of urgency to it. So those of you who may know her or may know people or may know someone who knows her, please make sure that she gets this. In the dream, I found myself in a waiting room. It was a small waiting room, and we were expecting people or someone to come and receive us. It was me, it was Chidima, she was to my right. There was a young man and another woman. So there were four of us that had just arrived, and we were waiting for someone to come and greet us, pick us up, whatever, in the waiting room. It was a very small waiting room, so we were in close proximity of each other. And I had a huge gift box in my hand, and it was like a moss green gift box, and it was wrapped in a white ribbon. Now, when the dream opened, we were all in the room already together, and I instantly noticed Chidima to my right. She was sitting there just kind of by herself, um, you know, kind of skirting her eyes around, looking to see if someone would come and receive us, and kind of thinking about the way ahead and stuff like that. um, so she wasn't focused on anybody in particular, but she was just kind of in thought. She was in thought. And I don't recognize the other two people. I don't recognize that young man in Waking Life. I don't recognize the other woman. I don't even recognize the young man that finally came to greet us. So when I recognized her to my right, um, instantly I braced myself for her to be snooty. I braced myself for her to be snooty. Um, you know, she's a celebrity, she's a beauty queen, and I really thought she was gonna snub me. Um, and so, but then I turned to the right to like look at her, and then she looked back at me, and she kind of smiled in a shy way. She smiled in a shy way, and I smiled back. So I was surprised, and I was like, okay, well, okay, looks like she's a nice person, like she's real, she's a real person. So the next thing I saw, someone came to pick us up, and the next thing the scene switched, and Chidima was on an obstacle course. It was as though she was here to prepare for a big event, and this event required preparation at this obstacle course. And it literally was an obstacle course. There were obstacles, but it was for modeling. So you had to walk. You had to learn how to walk from this course to the next stop to the next stop, and it wasn't a straight line. It literally was an obstacle course. So she was here to practice for this big modeling event, and I don't know what it was, whether it was another pageant or something like that, but she was here to prepare. So she got right to work and she started preparing. And between the waiting room and getting to the obstacle course, we had become fast friends. And I was literally holding her hand when she got to the obstacle course. And then when she started practicing, I left her hand, um, and I was out and about. I was in the area, but I was out and about, greeting different people. I think I ran into my oldest sister, um, and I was greeting different people. And she would practice and she would practice, and then at a certain point she would look up, and she would be looking for me, like she was afraid that I had left her, like I had abandoned her. And the whole time I was greeting other people, I would keep my eyes on her. I would keep my eyes on her. So she would look up, she would look for me, she would see me, and then she would be looking at me like, you left me, like you abandoned me. And then I'd wave, and then she would relax, and then she will go back to practicing. And then I'd be talking to this other person over here, but I was still in the area. And then she would look up, and then she would look for me, and I would wave, and I'd be like, hey, you're doing good, you're doing okay, I'm here. And then she'll go back to practicing, and every so often she would look up, and she would look for me, and then I would wave and smile, and then she'll go back to practicing. This dream is time sensitive. To those of you who are family to Chidima, please stay close. My God, please stay close. Those of you who are friends, best friends, close family, those of you that are in the inner circle, please stay close. This girl is fragile. She's fragile. She's strong, y'all, but she's fragile. She's fragile. That South Africa thing did something to her. It tried to break her, but she stood strong. And sometimes a person can stay strong until the pageant is over. And that's when the breakdown comes. When they've had to be strong for the event, when they've had to be strong for the lights and the cameras, and for the family's name, when they've had to be strong for themselves, for their child, when they've had to be strong for the occasion. And then when the occasion passes and the lights and cameras go out, then they start to break down. Um, but obviously, there's more ahead for her. There's more ahead for her. But she's fragile right now. She's really fragile, even in the midst of whatever else is ahead that she may be preparing for. Um, those of you, parents, siblings, best friends, those of you that are close to her, please stay close. Don't let the smile fool you. I'm not saying she's faking anything. I'm saying that she's a smiler. She's just, some people even, that smiling thing is their coping mechanism. She's a smiler. Don't let the exterior show of strength fool you. Those of you who are close to her, please stay close. Please make sure she's in a good mental space. Um, don't abandon her at any point. Please check on her, and please be there to be strong for her. I'm not saying she's not strong. I'm saying that she needs help. I'm saying that she needs help being strong. I'm saying that she's in a fragile place. And some of you might say, well, but I'm sure she's been to therapy. There's a place for therapy. And then some wounds just take time and help to heal. And that's just the way it is. There's a place for therapy. And then there's the healing of the wound. It's like I cut my finger the other day trying to split some kind of stick in half. And the gash was deep. And so I cleaned it off with some hydrogen peroxide. I put some Sheffield's ointment in there, and then I put a Band-Aid around it. And yes, I cleaned the wound and it was fine, but it just took time to close. The thing was so deep, I wasn't sure for a second whether I needed stitches. But, you know, I just put the bandage on it and decided, okay, I'll just wait and see. Just cleaned it up, even put some anointing oil in there. And yeah, it took about 2 weeks. Wounds just take what they take to heal. They just do. Right now, this wound has closed all the way up. You can barely even see it on my finger. This wound has closed, but I can feel the pain inside. So some wounds can even close on the surface, but inside, they still haven't healed completely. So, yes, there's a place for professional help, but then there's wounds that are in the heart, in the soul, in the spirit, in the mind, and it just takes time. And the ointment for that, many times, is love. And love can help wounds to heal faster. And I'm not saying, those are you guys that think y'all can take advantage of this situation. Oh, love heals a wound. Okay, I got it for her right here. I'm going to take advantage of this. She's fragile. I dare you to do it. I'll be going to war for this young lady. That's why I was given the dream, to share it with the family, but also to go to war for her. I just dare you. I dare you to try to take advantage of her fragility at this time. You will find yourself in season 12. If I have to put you to death, I will do it. My warfare is nothing to joke with. So, yes, family members, please stay close. Chidinma, I'll be praying for you. God bless you.